guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you everything that our elf on the shelf got up to when he visited us last year. He's back again this year, and if you guys don't know, we have an elf that visits us throughout December just to watch the boys' behavior, and then he reports back to Santa whether the boys are being naughty or nice, and then every night he gets up to some mischief in our house and surprises the boys in the morning. So I thought you would like to see what our elf on the shelf has done, and if there are any other elves watching, this might also give you some ideas of how you could surprise your kids as well. So I hope you really like this video. If you do, give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around for more content like this. And yeah, let's get into it. So on the first day that the elf visited us, he was sliding down our banister in a little sleigh that it looks like he made out of an old ribbon box, some string, and candy canes. On the next day, we found two of our cheeky elves with a black marker and a bunch of bananas, and they had drawn little minions onto our bananas, and the boys thought this was the best thing ever, and they really wanted to take one of the bananas to school for a snack. The next day, we woke up to find that our elf had actually cooked the boys an elf breakfast. This was the same breakfast that we saw in the movie Elf, so this must be what they actually eat. It was spaghetti, syrup, chocolate chips, and sprinkles. One morning, we woke up to two of our elves having a snowball fight on our kitchen counter. They had built little walls of marshmallows to protect them, and they were throwing small marshmallows at each other, and the boys loved tasting some of them. And one day we came down to find that the elves had drawn on our eggs, and they had written Merry Xmas on the eggs. So because we had all of these in, I then made eggs for breakfast and French toast as well. And once we found our elf pulling a little Santa sleigh of sweets, which was made out of a stack of chocolate bars, 2 candy canes, and a chocolate Santa. These were all sellotaped together and then had a ribbon on it as well. And we've actually made these before to go alongside Christmas cards. They're really fun and easy to make, and you can get everything to make them just from the supermarket or even Poundland. And one day we found our cheeky elf in our box of celebrations, and he had been eating them. There was wrappers everywhere, and he left a note saying, "Well done for being good boys, take 2 chocolates." And he also brought us a really cute little Christmas tree with mini decorations and tinsel. He decorated some of it, and then the boys decorated some of it as well, and he was all wrapped up in the ribbon. Then the next morning, he left a plant pot out that was full of oatmeal, and there was a little sign that said, "Plant 4 chocolate chips and see what happens tomorrow." So the boys planted 4 chocolate chips, and there was also a few extras. And then the next morning, when the boys woke up and came down to the plant pot, they had actually grown into candy canes. So there was then 4 candy canes, and the boys could have one each. And once we found the elves being really adventurous, they had hung a zip line from our Christmas tree to our set of shelves, and they were zip lining across it on candy canes. And on one day, we found that our elf had built a snowman out of our toilet rolls. He'd added buttons, eyes, and a nose, and he'd written a little sign that said, "Do you want to build a snowman?" And the naughtiest thing that we found our elf doing was he once got into our Nutella pot, was eating it, and then also wrote poo on our countertops. And you'll notice that our elf must have a thing about toilet roll because he used it quite a few times last year when he surprised us. So one day we actually found him sitting on the Christmas tree and he had added a decoration of toilet roll all around the tree. We also found our elves making snowflakes one day out of paper and using scissors. Luckily, I was there to stop the boys from grabbing the scissors, and then we actually made our own snowflakes as well. And remember I said that our elves seem to have a thing about toilet roll? Well, one morning we came downstairs and found that all of our elves had got into the toilet roll and thrown themselves down the stairs. I don't know if they were doing races or what, but it made a huge mess. And I think this next one is my personal favorite. One day we came downstairs to find that our elves had gift wrapped our toilet. They had the tape, they had the gift wrap and a big ribbon around the toilet as well. And it looked so funny to see and very festive. The boys also thought that this next one was hilarious. One morning we came downstairs to see that our elf was having a poo in our sink and he was pooing out chocolate drops, which the boys were very happy to try. And this next one is just so adorable. One day we found two of our elves having a spa day. They must have needed to relax because they were wrapped up in our hand cloths. One was laying down with cucumbers on its eyes, and one was even soaking his feet in marshmallows. And almost every year we will find that on one of the days our elf has made snow angels from our flour. He must get into the cupboards, throw this on the floor and do a snow angel. And once our poor elf got trapped by our Lego men. He was on the Lego table and he was trapped under some string which they had just put under each piece of Lego and then attached it to the table. And yeah, they were all around him and they were almost holding him hostage. And our elf must have made friends while he was here in December, because one day we found him reading Christmas stories to some of our favorite toys. And this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. One day the elves actually made tiny elf donuts. They were so small, almost the size of Cheerios. They had icing and sprinkles and chocolate on them, and they must have been put into a little matchbox because they were so tiny. And on Christmas Eve, we found our elf in the bathroom. It took ages to find him, but he was there with the toothpaste and he had written "Ho, ho, ho" on our bathroom wall. Sometimes on Christmas Eve, he'll also bring our Christmas Eve box, but it just depends. But that is it for this video. That is everything that our elf got up to last year when he visited in December. I hope you really liked these ideas. To any of the elves that are watching, let me know which one was your favorite in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching. There's loads more Christmas content to come, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button below. It's completely free and I would love to have you as a viewer. So yes, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.